Brian, are you buying that a lot of teams are going to be in on Brady?
I like Mike Florio. I just don't know that I'm looking at it the same way as he is. I think that he's talking about jersey sales, and I think part of Tom Brady's reason why everybody wants his jerseys, of course, he's the greatest of all time, and he plays in New England. And so when you're winning Super Bowls and you play there and it comes with a bunch of lure, then, of course, everybody wants your jersey. Now, you put him in a Raiders jersey, a Vegas Raiders jersey, I'm not so sure that everybody wants it as much. And to me, the other, well maybe. They probably will. But to me, there's only maybe 3 teams or so that would be vying for Tom Brady. And that really only takes 2, to be honest with you. It probably 4 if you add the Patriots in. But other than the Patriots, you have the Chargers, I think, are 1. I think the Raiders are 1. And I think quietly the Tampa Bay Bucks are 1 as well. And I think that Bruce Arians with Tom Brady maybe saying, you know what, we have a shot of winning the NFC South if we don't throw 30 interceptions. You're also talking about when you look at the Chargers, we always know that. They have a bunch of weapons. They have a bunch of guys that can get it done. But the Raiders are kind of interesting as well because John Gruden could take this type of risk. He has a 10-year contract. And so even if it doesn't work for a couple years with Tom Brady, he still has 5 or 6 years left on that contract. He has the ability to say, oh, you know what, it's worth the risk to go with Tom Brady for a couple years. And if it doesn't work out, I still got 5 years to figure this thing out. And so I think there's really only going to be 3 teams that are vying for Tom Brady. But I still think this is a leverage play by Tom Brady's agents, by Tom Brady himself, to be able to say, hey, all these other teams want me. Now you better start talking about that money in New England. I still think he goes back to New England.
I agree. I mean, look, the Gruden sale is I have 2 first-round picks. So if we want to make a trade for Stephon Diggs or to get you whatever wide receiver, we could do that. Or, you know, and I think the Gruden sale is it worked with Rich Gannon. He was an older quarterback, granted 30s, not 40s, but
right.
But 43 is the new 33, especially with Tom Brady, what he's been able to do. And it worked with Brad Johnson, who was in his 30s when he won a Super Bowl. The problem is that he's synonymous with winning. Right? Like, if I'm the Chargers, and look, part of the Chargers' offensive line issue is Phillip Rivers is the worst athlete playing quarterback in the NFL. He just is. He was a bad athlete.
Second worst.
I don't. Well, Byron
Tom Brady.
No, but Tom Brady is actually remarkably athletic in the pocket. Right? They can't run. They couldn't run screen passes with Phillip Rivers because he can't move. Yeah. So if your offensive line is bad at a weak spot, you can't. He physically can't move. He's a bad athlete who tore his ACL. Now he's in his late 30s. So I understand that the Chargers can explain away, but the Chargers need him for one reason only, to put butts in the seats. And that's not what Tom Brady is about. Tom Brady, as you pointed out, and you're right, is synonymous with not just longevity, but with winning over a long period of time. And the best chance to do that is in New England. You don't have to reteach people an offense. You don't have to go to OTAs. You don't have to. And even if you're concerned, supposedly, about the personnel, Belichick's going to try and fix the problem. He may not accomplish it, but They went and traded for Mohamed Sanu because they knew they had a problem. They traded for Antonio Brown because they knew they had a problem. They
brought back Josh
Gordon because they drafted N'Keal Harry because they knew they had a problem. They didn't fix the problem, but at least they admitted, first part is, right, you have to admit you have a problem. They've done so. So I'm with B here. This is a leverage play. This is about not just how much money, but how long. He wants to play till he's 45. That's a big thing. He said it, and whether or not he can do it or not doesn't matter. He wants that payday. He wants over a long period of time, and probably wants a little bit of the discussion in terms of the decision-making.
You said one of the key things just now. He wants to play till he's 45. If I'm another team, I am leery of giving him a 2 or 3 year deal. And that's what he's going to want. To leave New England, he's going to want 2 or 3 years. He might go to back to New England on a 2-year deal with a team option for the 2nd year or whatever. I don't think he's going anywhere else for that type of deal because he's going to want the security of that. And if I'm another team, I don't want to give him that at 43 years old when we've seen your arm is not what it used to be, and it comes quickly. I keep saying it. Peyton Manning, 39 touchdowns, 4,700 yards 1 year, 9 touchdowns, 17 picks the next year.
Brett Favre's last year in Minnesota.
Yeah.
He goes to the NFC Championship
game. He looked good before that.
Then he was terrible. Or, I mean, in basketball, Jason Kidd, right? Couldn't make a layup in the playoffs.
It is, and as much as Tom Brady wants to post on social media, doubt me, and all the all the motivational things he's posting, at one of these points, he's going to be wrong. And he's not going to be able to do it. He's not going to have it left. And it might already be there. And so I'm leery if I'm another team.
Here's my question to you, okay? As a former player, I don't I don't agree with what Florio is saying, not just because the reality is you're not going to win in Miami, you're not going to win with the Jets, you're not going to win with the Giants, but also you run the risk of alienating your young quarterback.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah, you don't make that move. You don't put Tom Brady. Let's say you're the Giants and you have Daniel Jones. You don't bring in Tom Brady and put Daniel Jones back on the bench.
Because any football player worth his salt, right, is going to be highly upset.
You're going to be upset, but it also it stunts your growth. And the most important thing for organizations, especially if you have a young quarterback like Daniel Jones, I'm just picking him out of all the guys, is that you want him to get better every single year. You bring in Tom Brady, that cuts his reps in half.
Right.
It's hard for him to get better. So 2-3 years, let's say Tom Brady plays that long. Later, now Daniel Jones, your high draft pick, he still hasn't developed as a quarterback. He still hasn't made that time. And here's the thing. I don't think there's a bunch of teams that are going to say, I'm going to sign Tom Brady up for 2-3 years. I just don't think that's going to happen. And if I'm Tom Brady, I don't know that I want to go to the Raiders and say, hey, I'm going to be here for 3 years. Maybe I don't like John Gruden. Maybe I get there and I absolutely hate it. I've been with one coach my entire time, and Josh McDaniels has been really in and out of that organization in New England, but I've been with Bill Belichick. I understand it's going to be Monday this, Tuesday that. We're going to watch film on Wednesday. I know the structure. I know exactly what we're going to do. It's hard to change those things in your 20th year in the NFL.
Why not? You mentioned a few of the teams that make some sense. Why not Tennessee and Indianapolis?
I think Tennessee, if I'm Tennessee, I'm saying I'm going to run it back with the same quarterback. I'm running it back with Ryan Tannehill, still a little bit younger. It's not going to have to pay him as much. I think that we have a solid nucleus of a team, and I want to build things together with that team so we can go forward. Indy, I think, is tough only because Peyton Manning was there, and I don't know that
Kobe Bryant was in L.A.
That's true. But L.A. is a basketball. That's where everybody wants to play in basketball.
Listen,
Indy is not that same place as football.
How did that go over the first year of LeBron playing in Kobe's town?
It was tough, but he got hurt. Hold on. If he had not gotten hurt, and they had remained the 4 seed,
and they don't win a championship.
Some people will never. Now with the Kobe situation now and LeBron giving the great speech. Maybe now people, if they don't win
this year, I think it'll get even worse because if you ask Laker fans, Kobe never lost, never missed a game when he shot.
That's right.
It's a Kobe, and the Indianapolis Culture synonymous with Peyton Manning. Like, look,
he only got him one Super Bowl. Kobe got Lakers.
Here's the thing that I think we all might, or at least I think we should admit. I'm sorry. I think we should all maybe think about admitting everything leaks for a reason in sports, right? Like, these stories don't just get out. The Raiders are going to offer 2 years, $60 million. Hey, how'd that happen to get out before they've even met with Tom Brady? And now all of a sudden Florio's saying, look at all these teams there. This is all about Brady's people making it seem like everybody wants him. He doesn't fit in Tampa.
Creating leverage.
He doesn't fit. Bruce Arians likes to throw the ball downfield.
That's true.
Downfield. Tom Brady doesn't throw the ball downfield anymore. Okay? He doesn't throw it downfield.
He doesn't have weapons
if I
to throw it
don't have
downfield.
my heir apparent, and like, I'm with you. Giants, Jets, no way. If I'm Indianapolis, I don't know who my next long-term quarterback is. So for the time being, why not go with Tom Brady? I've got a good offensive line, a great offensive line. I've got running backs. I got T.Y. Hilton.
It makes sense.
Tom Brady makes you a Super Bowl team in Indy? Based on what you've seen last season?
I think Kansas City and Baltimore may be just the best teams wherever he goes, but I think you're right there in the mix. Yes.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.